Hello, my dog lovers. I am here because I wanted to share a really interesting story with you. And it is about a dog, a Rhodesian Ridgeback, that I met in a park here in Prague. I am walking packs and he's sniffing and peeing all over the place. And I run into this lady and I started talking to her, and she had a really nice Rhodesian Ridgeback that was like 11 years old and really good energy and good back, and he was moving well. So I would start talking to her and gave her praises for looking after her dog well. And she said, well, he's going to go for a surgery. And I said, what kind of surgery? Well, he has laryngeal paralysis, and they're going to do some sort of internal throat operation. And that's what they do. They attack the cartilages so it doesn't get in the way. And immediately my alarm bell goes up, and I basically decided to convince this lady that the surgery is not the best way to go. And you have to be very careful, because in those situations you don't want to preach people, but you just have to use your own examples. And some of you may not know, but I had multiple neck injuries. I had, car accidents and surfing accidents and so on. And I have had relatively severe damage to my neck at a certain point. And even though I'm moving fine and do fine, I often teach people that when there is an injured area, that there can be problems. And in my case, I ended up with a benign lump on my salivary gland in the area where my neck was basically injured. So, whatever I teach happens to me, of course. And so I actually used that example when I talked to the guardian of this Rhodesian Ridgeback. So I kind of explained it to her that, number one, she has to actually stop using the collar, because this dog's collar was super, super tight. So she loosens it up a little bit. And then I put my fingers barely under it, because it was still too tight. So I said, this is too tight. Look at my dog. Like there was like this much space, and Pax uses the collar just for his name and phone number. And so she did that. And then I explained to her that the nerves that actually get impinged and injured in the muscles can really affect the larynx and the movement of the cartilages. So I could see that I was actually getting through. And I said, maybe you want to do some massage and maybe do some acupuncture and maybe laser therapy and rehabilitation. And then we left, and she was kind of excited about it, because she was super sad and worried about her dog needing to get a surgery. So a week later, I run into her, and she already tells me that she booked all these appointments and she had a harness on and all that stuff. And a couple of weeks later, I run into her again, and I said, so how is your dog? Has he had any episodes of laryngeal paralysis or, any coughing or choking or so on? She said, absolutely not. So this is just the start. So if you think about it, sometimes an interaction like that can really make a difference. And when you share in the right way, when you share it without preaching and teaching and just kind of share your own experiences, then people will actually be more open to it. So remember, laryngeal paralysis, do not use any collars. If you see people with prong collars, choke chain collars on a retractable leash, or just a leash attached to a collar, it can really cause huge damage if your dog jerks once or twice, right? Like I've experienced it myself after my neck injuries, what can happen. But luckily, I have just a benign lump, and that's going to be looked after. But, overall, remember that any injury to the spine, or especially the neck, can lead to a lot of different problems. And laryngeal paralysis is one of them. Thanks for listening. Take care.